Hello, my name is Bronwyn and this is my Lightroom Workflow video tutorial. In this I'll be using Lightroom to demonstrate an efficient workflow for my photos, and that includes data management, folder structure, naming, rating, collections, all that kind of stuff. Alright, let's dive in. To begin with, this is how I manage all the files I import. Starting with an SD card, the files are downloaded to my computer onto Lightroom as DNG files, and at the same time they're copied to my external hard drive for safekeeping. From my computer, the files are backed up automatically to Time Machine, which lies on an external server and is updated periodically when I have an internet connection at home. And they're manually backed up to a separate external server drive as well. Now, in Lightroom, the files are placed into my folder structure, which is this exceedingly lovely diagram. If they're assignments, they're put into their own folder structure, which is assignments and assignment photos, then the year and the semester type, which is fall-winter this time. And they're put into their own folder structure, which is named a number, then the assignment name, and the due date. For all other photos, they go into their own structure as well, and this structure would also apply for professional photos. They're sorted by the year, then they're into their own folders, which are marked by the date, the location, or this would probably also work for like the job type, and then the identifier, which can say things like IND for independent or personal, or JOB, which might for job, which might also have an extra identifier for the client. Now, into Lightroom. Alright. Now, I have some photos to import from a vacation I took a while ago to Lake Placid. These are rather old, so they're in JPEG format, but I'll have to make do with them. Now, if you go down to the Import button here on the left, and just click that, it'll bring up the Import menu. Now see, it already sees my SD card, and before I select all my photos, I'll turn on my preset here. And it seems to have already selected stuff here, but that's not where I want it to go, so I will choose where my Lightroom catalog is, and into the folders I want it to go. It is 2013, but it's not in either of these dates. So I will go into subfolder, and I will name it. I still remember the date. It's August 1st, 2013, and Lake Placid. For now, that's all I'm going to do, but I will probably go back and add more to that name later. Now, I don't want to download all of these photos because that will take too long. Instead, I'll just choose a few of them. So I will go uncheck all, and then I'll select the ones I want. Let's go with these ones, and I will click this little box here, and they'll all be checked. Let's make sure this is the right date. Yep, I was right. August 1st, 2013. Now I want to make sure it has the previews at 1:1. Smart Previews is on. Import selected duplicates is on as well, and I want to make a second copy to my hard drive. It has this set up to something else currently. I will change that to go to a folder I had previously created for these photos on my little external hard drive. Now, with all that checked and my basic copyright set in as well, I'll add in some keywords that'll apply to all of them, like nature, Lake Placid, vacation. I think that's really all that can really apply to those particular images. Then I will click import and see you again when they finish doing their thing. Alright, we've got our files loaded up and ready to go. Since these were not raw files, I couldn't import them as DNGs. Now, if they were DNGs, I would have had copy as DNG selected, which I believe I had selected anyway, and they would show up in Lightroom as converted to DNG files like these here. Now, going back, I can tell already there are some images here that I do not like at all. So I will select those by holding Command and clicking on the ones that I know I don't like, and then I will mark those as discarded photos by pressing X, and they'll be flagged with a little black flag here. Now if I hold Command D, I'll just deselect those, and they're all grayed out now. Now, I prefer to name my files after I import them, and I often don't name them unless they're the ones that I want to use. However, en masse, I will name my files after a special convention, even the ones I'm going to discard anyway, being the date they were taken, the location or job that they were taken at or for, and then the standard name given to the files by the camera. Now if I press Function F2, it'll bring up a renaming, like a batch renaming panel here, and I'll put in my 2013 naming convention here, and I will name them like Placid, and they will have the date they were taken, the location, and the standard name given by the camera. And I'll hit OK, and it automatically names them all after that. So I'll click Command D to deselect them all. Now, during the import process, I gave all of these keywords that applied to all of them, and now I will give some of them keywords that apply to only those photos. So I'm going to select all these photos of the frog in the pond here, and then I will put in keywords that apply to only those photos, like frog, green, pond. These are taken in a rock pool, so I'll put that. Rock pool. And that would probably be good. So then I'll hit enter, and those keywords have been applied to all of these photos, but only those photos. Now, for my rating system, I generally only use 4 or 5 stars, and I only use the colors sparingly, generally using them to find panoramas or between different shots in a single shoot. So I really like this photo, this one, and these 3. So I will give them all 5 stars. Oops, wrong one. Terribly sorry there. Go away. So yes, I will give them all 5 stars. Now, I use Smart Collections to keep track of photos of dominant colors. So in blacks and whites, it's like all these very dominant black, white, gray, and these are all managed. If I right click on one here and go edit, they're managed by keywords. So this one is managed by anything that's keyworded with black, white, or gray. If I go back into the photos I imported and select all these ones with the frog, now see I tagged them with green and they should show up in my greens. There they are. And if I go to one of these ones with the mushroom and I tag it with orange, they should show up here. And I believe that wraps up everything. And this has been my Lightroom workflow video tutorial.